everyone. Welcome back to The Other Side of Music. Today we have Jesse Flores of Intercept with us. Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Robin. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, how are you today?
I'm blessed. I'm doing great.
Good, good. So let's jump right into it. Tell us about you.
Yes. So I recently joined Intercept Music as their head of artist and label partnerships. Intercept Music is a global music distributor for the artist and indie label community. We definitely pride ourselves on music technology, music distribution, and also providing best-in-class services for our clients. So, when it comes to distributing music, you obviously want to provide more than just delivering content from A to B. You want to be there as a strategic growth partner, making sure that you're there to help out our label and artist clients when it comes to release strategy, when it comes to marketing plans, marketing suggestions, providing advertising for them, providing insights and analytics with our dashboard. Just a whole suite of services and tools that really benefit the independent community. And we were established in 2018, and we're poised to have a great year in 2025.
Okay. So, that was a lot for everybody listening. So, let's break it down a little bit. Are there different like levels or packages you can purchase as an indie artist, or do you get like all the features? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so our core business is distribution deals for indie artists. We also do label distribution deals as well. We've also just started doing catalog acquisition deals. So if there's a buyout opportunity and you have a catalog that's a little more on the mature side, 5 to 10 years old or older, and you just want to, get out the business and kind of cash out, we're open to those type of deals as well. When it comes to master rights, and we'll even look at publishing rights and PRO rights as well. But essentially, yeah, I mean, we can just customize the deal to what you're looking for as an artist or label. If you just need distribution and using our pipes, we can do that. If you're looking for a little more white glove service, having our team engaged fully with all your new releases, helping you do audits on all your platform accounts, whether it's Spotify for artists or working with Amazon or Apple Connect or even YouTube. All those things are definitely part of the plan and something that we can move forward with when it comes to putting together a deal.
Okay. So, what made you decide to join? Like, what was the deciding factor there?
So last year, I was pretty much at a crossroads. I became a free agent. I've been in the business close to 30 years, and I just left Virgin Music Group and In Grooves, which I was at for almost 10 years. And one of my good friends that I've known over the years is Ralph Tashian, who's the founder and chairman of Intercept Music. He reached out to me, and I obviously wanted to check on me and see how I was doing, and also wanted to figure out, what I wanted to do going forward. And we just kept on talking. We kept in touch. And earlier this year, he made me an offer I couldn't refuse to join Intercept as a vice president. So that was something that I was really looking forward to, and I'm excited to be part of the team.
Oh, good. All right. Well, that sounds very exciting. I know, working with indie artists myself, that it's hard. I mean, it is hard to be an indie artist. You know. So this sounds like something that could be, obviously, you think so too, very useful to artists out there.
Absolutely.
And do you work with any style of indie artists, like any genre, or you have specifics?
Yeah, we're definitely open to all genres, and we work with clients all across the globe. So we're definitely a worldwide company. I'm really focused on really building the U.S. presence for Intercept, but we have a lot of great clients in like Latin America and overseas as well.
Okay, cool. And here's a really hard question. What is your favorite kind of food?
I really like the steak and lobster mashed potatoes at Mastro's Steakhouse,
Oh,
which
okay.
is which is a great restaurant out here in Los Angeles, and they make it perfectly, and it's so good.
And what is a food that you wish or you hope to never ever see again?
Spam.
Spain. Oh,
I,
okay.
I grew up eating
Nobody said that.
spam when I was little. I have three brothers, and we used to eat spam every now and then for dinner or for lunch or whatever. And I am so happy to not have to eat that anymore.
Now, yeah, I could see that. I've tried fried spam before. It's not terrible. It's
Right?
it's not an everyday thing for sure.
Exactly.
So, you said you've been in the industry for just about 30 years. So, what have you seen in the industry that you feel needs to be over time, needed to be changed or handled differently or, you know, or,
Well, definitely the constant change in the music business. I've my entire pedigree's been in music distribution, and that side of the business has definitely changed over the years. When I first got in the late '90s, it was very heavily, physical based. So a lot of CDs, a little bit of vinyl, a little bit of cassettes, DVDs as well. But and also the retail side of it too. I was a sales rep for a long time for Tower Records and Virgin Records and a lot of the indie mom and pop record stores out there, and a lot of them are just not in existence anymore. We transformed into the digital age in the early 2000s, and with that brought just a different way of not only consuming music but also monetizing it. Because when you have a physical format, you get that wholesale price, and you know what you're earning, and it's a good amount of money as opposed to what you're getting now, which is pennies on the of a penny, like a fraction of a penny per
yeah,
stream. So it varies per platform as well. Some digital service providers, they pay out more than others. So you got to take that into account. You got to take into account the territory where that stream is coming from, because that factors in as well. So there's all these different variables now, and it's just it's at a point where we really need to find a way where artists and repertoire owners can really earn the lion's share of the revenue again.
yes, I agree. Um, Now, some people are still doing CDs. Some people, vinyl, not I hear, I see that vinyl is making a comeback, but getting a vinyl pressed is expensive. Um, and then I have an artist who is releasing an album on flash drives,
Okay.
which is, I'm like, that's a pretty cool idea, you know. But what do you think it's going to take for physical to come back?
I think it's already happening. I saw some on some report where vinyl is definitely obviously up again this year, and it has been over the past few years. But what really surprised me was that the demo of basically the teenager, the age 15 to 21, they're really buying vinyl now, which is amazing because a lot of the vinyl they're buying is from older catalog artists. So that's encouraging to hear. They're also buying record players as well. So it's definitely on the comeback. And then some artists are developing more D2C type of exclusive bundles for their fan base, and that might include like a cassette tape or like you said, a flash drive or some unique package that is in a limited version that's only exclusive for their fan base. So all those factors combined, make it clear that the physical marketplace is not dead and thriving still.
Yeah, that's good. Cassette though, what in the world would they play that on? That would be hard to find a cassette player now.
Yeah, they're still out there, believe it or not. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Um, I know myself growing up, I had all vinyl, cassettes, the boombox,
that's right.
all that stuff. So it would be nice to see that come back and be more accessible for everybody, um,
Definitely.
and more doable for indie artists to be able to handle the pricing.
Exactly.
So do you sing or play any instruments?
So I don't sing and I don't rap, but I did start off playing instruments. Like I was in school and in high school and even a little bit in college. I played alto and baritone sax. But once I got to college, I knew I didn't want to major in that. So I had to kind of, rearrange things and kind of figure out, what I wanted to major in, which ended up being business administration and management with a minor in mass communications.
Okay. And now, did you, not to get too personal, but did you always live in LA or did you move to LA to be more in the music industry?
It was a ladder. I grew up in Florida.
Oh,
So all my formative years were in Florida, high school, college, and then once I graduated college, I had a job offer to be a field marketing rep for a distribution company called Polygram in Detroit and Los Angeles, and I wisely chose to move to LA,
oh.
and I've been here ever since.
Obviously, you must like it.
I do, yeah. It's the land of opportunity, they say.
Okay. So, what is your favorite thing about being out in LA?
Definitely love the weather. I love the opportunity that's out here as well. If you want to be in the music business, in my opinion, it's really LA or New York, and there's other cities as well that are still doing uh, well. Like Atlanta is another one per se, Nashville as well. But for me, it's been LA. I mean, even when I moved out here, I went through a company merger, and I got offered a position in Miami. Literally 8 months after I moved out here,
Or,
and I'm so glad I decided to stay because I think if I had moved back to Florida, I might not be in the business anymore.
all right. Have you met anybody famous?
All the time. Yeah, over the years, definitely on the artist side, a lot of famous artists that I actually grew up listening to. So, it was definitely one of those situations where you just can't believe you're in shock that, hey, I listened to this guy when I was in school riding the school bus, and now I'm working with him and he's asking me what my team can do for him. So, that kind of
Wow.
thing. But yeah, a lot, especially on the urban side when I was at EMI Music, I had the great opportunity to sign great artists like Ice Cube, Tyrese, Raekwon, Twista, Bobby Valentino, Avant, Raekwon, and the list goes on.
Wow. So is Ice Cube is he friendly?
Absolutely, Ice Cube is the consummate professional. When I met him and worked with him, I realized what it really means to be a professional in this business, being on time, uh, really having a plan in place to market what you want to do, having that right team around you to support what you're doing. He definitely made an imprint on my life, and working with him was something I'd never forget.
That's cool. That's really cool. I'd like to meet Ice Cube. That'd be a good time. So, what advice? Well, we're going to do two pieces of it. The first part is what advice would you give to indie artists, whether they're just starting out or they've just been in it? Like a good, solid piece of advice.
I would advise them to really figure out what they want to do with their career, if they really want to be in the music business, and then realize that it is a business. And if they do want to move forward, to really map out what they want to do over the next 12 months. Release wise, where they want to put out singles, EPs, maybe an album at some point. Uh, really want to make sure that they at some point have a team that they develop, around them to kind of help them with their career and take them where they want to go. That could be a good manager, obviously a good distributor, a good entertainment attorney who's going to look at all the agreements and deals that you want to sign, a great publicist, as well as a good online marketing and social media strategist, because these are all tools and things that you need to really take your career to the next level.
Correct. I think I agree with that. And what is a wonderful piece of advice someone gave you just in life that has always stuck with you?
Just in general, I would have to say is expect the worst and hope for the best. That way, you're never disappointed in
Oh,
anything. And I've been living by that, and it's really true, and it works for me. I'm
okay.
never caught off guard. I'm never disappointed because I go into it, kind of analyzing what could be the best scenario, what could be the worst scenario, and it'll fall somewhere in between.
Oh, all right. So you must live a pretty good, happy life.
I do. I'm all about peace and tranquility in my life.
Yeah.
Definitely, because it can get stressful if you
Yes.
let it.
Yeah. Now, what do you have you ever been on the booking side where you've booked artists like at venues and stuff like that? Sorry about that. That was my son.
No
Good.
problem. To be honest, no. My entire career has been in music distribution. I did have an experience when I was in college, being part of an organization called SGP, Student Government Productions, and that was basically like a booking agency for a college where we brought acts to perform at the school, and we had a budget that we used. But I never personally booked the acts.
Okay. All right. Um, because I was gonna say that I find that it's difficult getting a hold of these venues and stuff.
Yeah,
Emailing, phone calls, text, whatever they tell you to respond or reach out to them by, and they don't respond, or they start a conversation and just never finish it. It's like, oh my gosh.
that definitely happens in other sides of the business as well. I mean, I deal with that all the time where you have somebody that's looking for a deal, then you say, okay, great, we're interested. Here's what we need to kind of get the conversation started, and you never hear back from them. So, similar
That's crazy.
situation. Yeah, yeah, it happens.
Yeah, you just gotta roll right past it and just keep reaching out. They'll eventually reach back out, or they won't.
Exactly.
So, um, now I see. Okay, so you guys that are listening to this on radio or Spotify, on the video, I behind Jesse are what look like plaques and pictures. So can you explain those to us or to me?
Yeah, so these are just some plaques that are RIAA certified that I've received over the years from working at the different distributors, Universal, Polygram. We had a great run, in those early years where we had several artists that were broken, whether it's a Nelly or a Three Doors Down or a Godsmack or all the Cash Money Records artists back in the day. I have a Diana Krall plaque over here, Andre Bocelli. So all genres. These are all artists that I had a part in it, whether it came to being a marketing rep or a sales rep. And at the time, when companies had budgets, they would give the employees plaques as a sign
Oh,
of gratitude.
well, it's cool because you got quite a few behind you.
I do. Thank you.
Quite a few, actually. I'm seeing like everybody. You can't see them all on the screen, but I can see
Hmm.
one, two, three, four, at least five
Hmm.
big ones. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Now, if you were not doing this, what do you think you would be doing in another life?
That's a good question, and I'm a big sports fan, definitely into a lot of this college athletics as well. So I think if I was not into music, I would probably be like a behind the scenes executive when it comes to maybe like a director of player development at like a college, like my college, University of Florida. I would probably be something like that behind the
Okay.
scenes.
All right. Um, so tell us how we can find Intercept.
Yeah, you can reach us out via our website, which is interceptmusic.com. You can hit us up on Instagram. Our IG handle is at interceptmusicofficial. Or you can even send me an email directly, and my email address is jesse.flores@interceptmusic.com.
Okay, great. And you'll respond.
I will respond.
Great. Um, so I like to ask other questions. So, like, if you could meet any famous artist, dead or alive, and have dinner with them, who would it be?
Wow. I would have to say that artist would be. I would do two. I would do Celia Cruz and Tito Puente, just because my mom was a big fan of both artists. I grew up with those artists, and just to hear like their stories and their struggles over the years. Being of Latin heritage as am I, and just what they dealt with in the industry, and just knowing what experiences they had, and what got them to the point where they're at now, and then obviously end it off with a live show would be amazing. So I would say both of those artists.
Okay, cool. And what would you have to eat? The dinner that you mentioned
So
earlier?
no, we would have some delicious Latin food, either like Puerto Rican food or Cuban or Dominican, just something delicious.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Um, and if you could, well, maybe you already have, I don't know. If you could travel anywhere, and it didn't matter, time, money, none of that was a concern, um, where would you go, and what would you do once you were there?
So I've actually been thinking about this lately, and I really want to go to either like the Maldives or like Bora Bora, just one of those places where you have that beautiful cabin over the light blue water, and I would just chill, just chillax, just relax and chill and do absolutely nothing except enjoy the ambiance and the scene and just the whole experience of it. So that's what I'd probably do.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, I've never done that and definitely want to.
Um, so what else would you say? What would you say is one of, I know there's a lot out there, but what would you say is one of the most difficult things about entering into the music business as as an artist? First, as an artist. Let's do that one.
Definitely, how competitive it is because the reality is anyone with a computer nowadays can make music. and have it distributed out there to the masses. So knowing that, you got to figure out a way to rise above the noise. There's just so much music being delivered to each DSP every day, over 100,000 tracks, you know, that are new, that have never been released, that are, being made available to everybody. So how do you rise above the noise? That's the main, factor and challenge that everybody's dealing with nowadays.
Okay. And can you give a tip of how to rise above that without giving away
Yeah.
everything?
Find the right distribution partner. Find somebody that's going to be there to help you rise above the noise and help you grow your business. And focus on a release by release basis on how we can increase your following at a Spotify where you might have 500 followers. How do we take that to 800 to or to 1,000? On YouTube, you might have 50 subscribers. How do we get that to 500? That's the type of stuff that we really focus on. Whether it's marketing or advertising or social media, a plan or campaign or influencer campaign, just all these different factors that we can all focus on together and work on to really help you take to the next level.
Okay. I'm just laughing at myself. I'm shaking my head, agreeing with you. And I
Yeah.
thought, nobody can see that on audio, right? um, and okay, so what is the coolest piece of merch you've ever seen someone have?
So I don't know if it's a piece of merch, but when I worked at EMI, we obviously have Virgin Records as one of our labels, and at the time we had to deal with So So Def. So Jermaine Dupri, who's the CEO of So So Def, he created these So So Def dolls that that are basically like the, I guess, the mascot of the label, and he gave them, each member of my team, one of those dolls. So I still have it to this day, but I would say it's a So So Def doll.
Okay, that is cool. Um, and what do you think would be the best piece of merch for an indie artist to have with them at a show or you know,
Yeah.
album release party, or you know, what do you think is the would be one of the best, easiest pieces of merch for them to start with?
If you were to have any piece of merch, you definitely got to have T-shirts because that's the one that's going to move the fastest. That's definitely the one that's going to sell. You want to have something that's going to actually sell through that you're not going to have to return.
Mm,
So I would definitely say T-shirts, and make T-shirts for each release that you put out. Ideally there's a focus track on that release, and you want to make sure that whatever you put out on the T-shirt is affiliated with that most recent release.
oh, interesting. Okay. I figured T-shirts, but I didn't think about the T-shirt per release. I was just thinking like T-shirts for that artist in general. But T-shirt
Hmm.
per release, that's cool.
Definitely.
Because somebody out there will collect them all, right?
That's right. When you have super fans, there are literally people out there that will buy every single thing you put out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Um, and do you? I'm trying to think how I want to word it. How do you? What do you see in the future? Not like your future, but like like the
Yeah.
music future.
Yeah, I definitely see the release count going up, just more and more people delivering new releases to the platforms. Everything getting a little more full of clutter and just kind of hard to sift through. I also see the continuance of the AI conversation and how that's going to play out going forward, whether it's AI when it comes to content creation or AI when it comes to marketing, which is something that we actually include on the Intercept Music dashboard, AI for marketing, which is huge. So you can actually create, bios and release press releases within the actual dashboard, social media messaging as well. But I think those two things, and then just the constant change overall within the business. You'll just there's always going to be new platforms and new ways to market and release music, you know, as the years go by.
Yes, but then that brings me to my one of my last questions. What is your take on AI?
So definitely supportive of AI when it comes to marketing. When it's helping you, market your music. Even when it comes to like AI and like maybe creating artwork for your particular release, album, EP, single, that's cool. But when it comes to content creation, that's where it comes causes problems because it's not human created music. There's not really any soul put into it. Um, the human element per se. And that's a problem because along with AI content that's created, there's also a lot of fraudulent activity out there as well that's associated with it. So usually when there's an AI artist out there that's putting AR music, there's also a bot or something that's helping like create fraudulent streams at these different DSPs like a Spotify or a YouTube or a Deezer. And Deezer had recently released an article that specifically spoke about this. So that's a problem when you're having these non-human artists with fraudulent streams that are, really taking advantage of the system. So, ideally, like I said, when it comes to AI, we're definitely fully supportive of the marketing side of it,
Hmm.
but the content creation side, not so much.
Okay. Yeah. Well, our time, this has been a lot of fun, and our time is almost up. So I want you to remind people how they can find your company, how they can get a hold of you. Um, oh, and a question, I do have a question that might help some artists along. Do you have a minimum for them? Like, do they have to have a minimum fan base or like so many followers before you'll work with them?
That's a great question. Ideally, yes, we want to make sure that we work with artists and labels that have a commercial fan base out there. So you got to have some activity at the Spotify's and the YouTubes of the world. Um, Ideally, you have a catalog that you could potentially transfer over. Because we want to do a deal not just for new releases but for the catalog as well. And I would say digital revenue wise, if you're making at least maybe like 20,000 a year in digital revenue, we definitely be interested.
Okay. All right. And in their catalog, it should entail like if they have explicit music, clean music, the oh my god, I lost my and the instrumental.
Definitely any content that's been released commercially.
Okay. So like those three versions though within
Hmm.
the catalog for like each song would be good.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Um and as far as like you said you do a little not a little bit, but you also work on like the publishing side, like sync licensing and stuff.
Yeah, so sync and licensing actually is on our roadmap for this year, so we're going to be able to provide that service very shortly. But our core business is definitely distribution.
Okay. Distribution. Great.
Hmm.
Okay. So now that I asked my questions, tell people again how to find the website, social
Yeah.
media, and contact.
Sure. So our website is interceptmusic.com. Our Instagram is at interceptmusicofficial. And if you want to reach out to me via email, you can do that as well. It's jesse.flores at interceptmusic.com.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I don't. I just want to thank you for this opportunity. I had a great time. I appreciate it, Robin.
Absolutely. Um, I'm going to ask you to stay on after I'm done recording. So
Okay.
we'll talk then. But thank you, everybody. And again, this is Jesse Flores. You should check him out and check out Intercept because sounds like a really great company and something wonderful for indie artists. Thank you. I'll see you next time.